All right, guys, Nick from Sports Card Madness here. I'm going to share with you 4 things that I'm looking to buy soon and I think are great opportunities for you guys to also look into. First one is probably going to be the most expensive and definitely the most difficult card to obtain, but I'm starting to really warm up to the 1985 star card from Michael Jordan, particularly the 101. That's kind of the holy grail of all of them. You know, this card obviously had its bubble moment a couple summers ago when PSA decided finally they could decide if it's counterfeit or not. And then they graded them and there was your classic price movement. But now, a couple summers later, the price has been steady and I don't think everyone realizes how rare these are compared to like 1986 Fleer. Only 3,000 to 5,000 of these star cards were made individually. For 1986 Fleer, it's like 250,000 a piece. That's a huge difference. People don't realize that, and it's that lack of knowledge that I think is keeping the price of the 1985 star card down. So I'm thinking in the next year or two is probably the last chance to get them at a relatively affordable price. Remember, I'm talking real scarcity, and these cards have real scarcity. These aren't printed numbers like your modern things. So this is the first thing I'm going after, and I recommend you guys look at it too. All right, next up, we're going to take a little detour from sports cards. LZ has actually been turning me on to this for a while. LZ is obviously the other half of Sports Card Madness. He's been saying, Nick, Stranger Things is the GOAT of shows. You got to get into this. I actually am eyeballing Series 1 and Series 2 hobby boxes. I'm not too keen on the Series 1 right now. I think they're like $900 to $1,000 a piece. And that feels a bit high, considering that they have redemption cards inside. Not thrilled about that. You know, if you pull a redemption card, it's going to be expired from 6 years ago. And what if that's like an 11 signature? You've literally burnt it. So the only way I'd buy one of these is if I never open it, and I am terrible at not opening things. So I'm looking more at the Season 2 hobby boxes. They've got some cool stuff inside. They have patches from people who worked in the lab. They've got patches from like the Audio Video Club, stuff like that. They've got autographs, on-card autographs as well. Looks like the boxes for Series 2 are like, you know, 3, 4, maybe $500. So this feels like a good place to start for me. And then for fun, I'm gonna rip some with my daughter because, like I said, I'm terrible at not opening things. So Zero Cool's got the Series 4, and they don't have any autographs inside. They've got some parallels, and you know how I feel about parallels. But I think that will be a fun rip with my daughter, and it should be a good time. And they are pretty rare. I think the 11 parallels, there's only 11 of, and they probably should sell for a couple grand on eBay pretty easily. But again, that one's for fun. But I think in terms of what I want to buy, it's most likely a hobby box, and I'm most likely not going to open it. Although I say that now, and you guys know what'll happen. All right, just a reminder at the halfway point. I'm not telling you to buy these things. This is just what I personally think I'm going to probably buy in the next 6 to 12 months. Before I show you the next one, which is actually PSA's fastest growing category, which stunned me, I just wanted to ask you guys, if you like this video, please subscribe to the channel. We're growing like crazy. We're dropping a ton of different stuff. We do the main episodes on Tuesdays and Fridays, but we drop how-to videos and random videos like this all the time. The only way you're going to get them is if you hit subscribe and get that notification. So here we go, PSA's fastest growing category for number 3. All right, PSA's number 1 category for slabs right now is actually movie ticket stubs, which stunned me when I found this out. It is fascinating. We had somebody from Collect Media on here on June 2nd. So if you're watching this after June 2nd, just go back and watch it. But he's letting us know all about the movie ticket stub landscape, what to buy. And it actually piqued my interest in what I personally am looking to buy in the next 6 to 12 months are Star Wars opening day movie ticket stubs. Not necessarily the US ones, because these look very lame. Back when they printed tickets, you know, this was just this little thumbnail size thing that really is nothing special. But check out some of the Japanese, like Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, A New Hope tickets. They look beautiful and amazing. and they're pretty affordable. And just given the way the world is going, like, we don't even print movie tickets anymore. It's all on an app for me. I just get a QR code or have it in the app. And I feel like this is something nostalgic, almost like vinyl is nowadays with all of the Spotify and streaming, something you can physically touch, right? Especially, I mean, my goodness, if you went to the original Star Wars opening and still had that stub, even better, right? That's like so interesting. I would send that to PSA and get slapped, or better yet, find a Comic-Con and get it signed by somebody from Star Wars. Luke Skywalker's got a signing coming up in July. I mean, it's $500 a pop, but I mean, damn, go get a Japanese opening day ticket stub and have Mark Hamill sign that thing. That's a valuable piece of history that is scarce. I mean, most people chuck these things. So I think that this is a category I'm going to be looking at. And if you want more detail behind it, we actually got into this for like a half hour with Collect Media. Again, that episode aired on June 2nd. If you're watching it before, it's dropping then. And if you're watching it after, just go back to June 2nd and find that episode. We cover the entire landscape of movie ticket stubs, and it's one of our big opportunities. So look for this one, and it's definitely number 3 for me. All right. Last but not least, I'm sure many of you have man caves. I've got one in the basement. And, you know, a lot of us have cards. I mean, I've got like a 1986 Fleer box behind me and a basketball. But I want something that you can really like display in a man cave. Something that takes up some space, that's legit, that's scarce, that's one of a kind. And I think for me, that's an uncut sheet. So this is yet another thing that we're going to cover in that Collect Media episode. But these are not exactly very available. They're super rare. I don't really know what I want in particular, but I like the 1986 Fleer one. I think that's sick. I mean, part of me wants to take that to some kind of like laser cutting press and try to get the Jordan out of it and make it look nice, but I'm sure PSA will pick up on it. But regardless, I think it would be so dope to like get that massive poster size uncut sheet hung up and framed nicely in a man cave. And I think the equivalent of that for like Pokemon, I know they have uncut sheets there. I saw a 1969 Tallboy uncut sheet, Skybox, you name it. There's probably some that are relatively affordable. Like I can imagine there's some sort of uncut Skybox sheet out there. And that can't even be 5 figures. There's no way. It's just people just aren't that interested in it. But I think it's cool. And that's something that I definitely want to buy. And I think that will have some value as time goes on. And even if it doesn't, it's something that I can look at like every day on my wall, which I can't really say that for my entire collection, right? A lot of it's locked away at the bank or in a safe. This is something you display it. I mean, I guess it's an easy steal. I might want to bolt it down or something. But I just think it's cool. And it's something that I don't want like a poster on my wall. I want an uncut sheet of some badass series of cards. So that's what I'm thinking for my final pick for the next 6 to 12 months. I'm looking at uncut sheets, probably basketball cards for me, because that's primarily what I collect, but I'll be looking at everything for sure. All right, that's all I got for now. We'll see if I actually buy these things or change my mind 100 times in the next 6 to 12 months. We'll see. I feel like I'm going to grab one of the 4 though, you know? But hold me accountable, check back in a year, and we'll see what I've got. Thanks, everyone.